Drop it.
Chance. Closer.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Pops and Drops podcast. On this week's episode, we have Hubbuh BhubbuH.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So just wanted to talk to you about your journey and how you got started. So yeah, when did you first get started making music or DJing?
Well, so honestly, the electronic scene was I jumped into that in around 2020, right when the pandemic hit. I had nothing to do, just chilling at home all the time, and loved going to shows and festivals and enjoyed the noises and stuff. And I always said, I bet I could do this. So I gave it a shot, and it's just been a lot of fun ever since.
Nice, awesome. Where did you first start? Did you first start DJing, or did you first start in production, or what kind of was the where did you start?
I definitely kind of dove into both at the same time. My thought process behind it was like, I didn't want to be that guy just constantly playing other people's music alone.
Yeah.
I know there are definitely artists out there that make a killer living doing that, but my perfectionist attitude in my head was like, well, I definitely want to be able to throw something out there at the same time, mix other people's music on top of my music. So honestly, I bought Ableton, bought my first deck at the same time, and just kind of dove back and forth in between both production and DJing. So I spent honestly the first year, like all of 2020, that was like kind of my driving time to try to figure out both softwares and figure out the fundamentals of electronic music. And it was a lot of fun, really hard, honestly. It was not as easy as I thought. In my head I was like, oh, this is cool, it's just on a computer, I play on computers all the time, I'm a video game whiz, let's do this. No, it's not even not even the same. So it was a fun learning curve, and just a really neat side project for me now, that has blown into something more.
Yeah. I kind of started a little bit before that. I first started making music when I was 11, but I got fully into EDM around 2019. I think that's when I dropped my first album. But yeah, getting used to Ableton is not the easiest thing on the planet to do.
Not at all.
Just the layout, man. It's so different than everything else. It just like kind of fried my brain when I was first starting to do it.
It's intimidating, definitely.
Yeah, very, because it's completely different than like GarageBand, which is what I was using before that. But yeah, cool. So you've got like this super like wubby dubby bubblegum sound, I guess. That's how you would describe it. What made you kind of go towards that, or what attracted you to that kind of the wubs and the dubs?
So I really liked the kind of wubby experience that I got off of like any kind of subcarbon anything. So subcarbon is like a big like eventual like idea where I want to land my dream as, So Ganja White Knight, Sub Doctor, all those guys just make the coolest, weirdest noises. The weirder the better for me, I think. And it's like I don't see anyone else out there doing that kind of sound, the bubblegum wubs as I call it. And I just wanted to be as unique as possible with stepping into the scene, because anybody can come out and try to recreate somebody else's sound, but to come out and try to create something completely new is a challenge for sure. But also I feel like the way that I can catch more attention.
Yeah And you've got a really awesome name. Really like, I really, and the way you spell it is dope. How did you come up with that?
So the Hubbuh BhubbuH thing, it kind of comes from my two little sisters. My entire life growing up, they always called me Bubba. And I was like, well, how can I, correlate that into like the rave culture, and bubblegum and rave kind of, hey, you got a piece of gum, man? Yeah, I got gum, dude. Here you go. So I was like, Hubbuh BhubbuH it is.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really cool. That's really dope. So would you say your biggest influences are like Ganja White Knight and
Yeah, definitely. Well, so I think honestly my biggest influence in production right now is definitely Tempura.
Okay.
He does really nice webby sounds, but has these really beautiful like high notes in all of his drops that are just it's crazy how well he mixes his highs and lows. So I just really like that kind of vibe that he puts out. It's grimy but also pretty at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Do you ever listen to like Dirt Monkey?
I love Dirt Monkey. He's like
Yeah.
absolutely one of my biggest like Bass Canyon 2019. I wore an
Yeah.
entire like banana outfit head to toe just for his set,
Nice.
just sweating
Dope.
the entire time. It was like 110 degrees during his set almost, man. I'm just dying, but I
Yeah.
rep for sure.
I was working the rail giving out water on 2019 Base Canyon. So maybe I do remember some bananas.
Absolutely, I
Maybe
might have
I
been
give you
one
some
of them,
water.
man.
Nice. Dope. So what would you say is one of your biggest like obstacles that you've had to overcome breaking into the scene?
Honestly, when I first stepped into it, the biggest obstacle I feel like there was a large gatekeeping community in the PNW area and the bass community scene. Um, as in, like, if you weren't like best friends with the local promoters, or you didn't really know a guy, or you weren't going to their shows every single weekend, you weren't getting booked. It didn't really matter about your talent, didn't matter about, what you could do on stage. It was just about the people you knew.
Yeah.
So because of that, me and three of my other friends, we got together and created our own little enterprise called Fractal Family.
Yeah.
And what we're doing with that is we're trying to eliminate that gatekeeping community. So all last year we were just booking like a bunch of smaller undercard acts that nobody ever gets to book and nobody really wants to because nobody really knows them. And we found just a plethora of really, really talented producers, DJs, performers, dancers, all sorts of people that just never really got the opportunity to break through in the scene, but are now getting a chance through Fractal Family. So that's been really, really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm seeing you guys are doing huge things. You got like Dirty Snatcher coming up, right?
Yeah, yeah, we have
And
Dirty Snatcher this weekend. Just had You Say B Flow last weekend, and a bunch of other things falling into motion right now as well.
that's sick. That is so dope. I'm gonna be there. I got my ticket for
Oh,
Dirty
sick,
Snatcher.
cool, awesome,
So
man. We'll rage together in the pit for Dirty Snatcher.
yeah, so I will be there. Awesome. So what would be if everything goes to plan, do you guys want to eventually throw your own like giant Fractal Family festival, kind of like what Khan's done?
Absolutely. That's definitely a major goal for us. We have small things in motion right now, trying to propel ourselves into that. We're currently in talks with a couple of different property locations and different production companies as well, just to make sure that whenever we come into this, we're going to have as big and beautiful as a show that we possibly can have. We
Nice.
definitely don't want to half step. That's kind of like the biggest thing. One of our founders is just such a perfectionist. He's like, no, we're not doing that until we're like got this, and this, and it's just such a blessing to have him on the team.
Yeah.
Shout out Bam Flood for that. But for sure, yeah, it's just everything's just spiraling into this snowball effect that we didn't expect to happen. At first it was just a small little thing, and now it's like, oh, we're going to throw something big here in the next year or two. So it's definitely something we look forward to in the future.
Dope. Awesome. Where do you personally want to see yourself in like 10 years?
Personally, for Hubba Bubba, I want to see, I want to have my own brand solidified. I want to be touring the world. I want to be partying everywhere. I'm sick of working my 9 to 5. I want my
Yeah.
job to be Hubba Bubba forever.
Yeah.
And knowing the work that puts into that too, it's more than a 9 to 5 when you're an artist. It's
Yeah.
24/7, 365, and that's definitely something that I'm prepared for and just would love nothing more to do.
Yeah. You got to be your own marketing team. You got to be your own digital like design staff. You got to be everything
Absolutely.
when you're chasing this dream. What so was going to festivals and concerts, was that kind of what got you into it, or like was there a moment that you were like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm meant to be here for. Did you have like that spark moment, or was it the
I think it was Bass Canyon 2018 that did that for me. Because, like, honestly, before that, I wasn't into the electronic music scene at all. I was really heavy more into like the rock and roll scene,
yeah
more into hip hop and things like that. But I met this girl in 2017, now my wife, And this all she was about was electronic music, man. And I was like, man, I really want her to like me. So I bought 2 tickets to Bass Canyon 2018, and I was like, yo, do you want to go to this? And she said, yeah. And then after that, it was just like, oh, bass music is everything. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of it, I think, has to do with the people that are, in the community. This scene is just so welcoming and loving and caring and supporting. Everyone's looking out for one another. So I really, really appreciate that about this community.
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of have similar things. It was EDC 2018 that really got me into it. And the reason why I went down there was because I was heartbroken and I was like, okay, I just need something. So I went to EDC and then I went to Paradiso, and then at Paradiso, they were passing out flyers for the first ever like Bass Canyon. And I was like, okay, well, I got to go to this. And I went to it and I was like, then I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, I fell in love with the music. And then the girl came. The girl came later. But I have my own little rave girl who is going to be my future wife. And but yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Is there any artist that you like really want to collab with on the producer side? Like do you have any like dream collabs that you'd want to work with?
A couple of them actually. So for sure, definitely Tempura. That's like my number one. If I could get into his ears somehow, and like I mix my music with his music personally, like I'll double his music on top of the stuff that I write, and I
Yeah.
just love the way it flows. So like that, he's like the number one goal for me right now for sure. But some other people, like honestly, like some like Riddim artists that I really want to collab with, like Chaucy and Stoned Level. Those guys are just blowing up the dubstep and rhythm scene right now, and their sounds are just so crunchy and just unique and powerful. And I'd love to get some, one-on-one with them too. That would just be incredible.
Nice. Nice. Well, being a co-founder of Fractal Family, building these events, that's kind of you're getting your foot in the door, and those collabs will probably come sooner than you think they will.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, man. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for Fractal Family. You guys are doing amazing stuff. You guys are doing awesome. So I'm really pumped for you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about your creative process when you first get into the studio or when you first start making stuff. Where do you start, and like
A lot of my music I feel like comes from like pop culture references. Like I really enjoy anime. I really enjoy, old school movies and cartoons and things like that. And I'll hear things like I watch a bunch of TV, watch a bunch of old anime and stuff that I like, and I'll hear the things in those shows and I'll go, "Oh, I need to sample that," and then build something around that. So usually, honestly, a lot of my creativity just comes from the TV that I watch. I hear
nice.
something, I go, that'd be such a great pre-drop vocal. Let's build something around that, and then we just go from there.
Yeah. My start kind of the same way. I did a house remix of That's What She Said, like the Michael Scott. I called it That's What She Said. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah, because I was just like, I love The Office so much. I was like, I have to. It wasn't even that I wanted to. I was like, okay, I just have. Like it was like a scratch in the back of my brain that was like, you have to do this. You have to do this. You have to do this.
That's awesome.
And then I did the same thing with. Do you remember that old? It was like one of the first things that went viral was The End of the World.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I made a house remix of that too. I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
filthy.
because I
That's
was
super
like,
cool.
I was like, I can't believe no one has done this yet. My biggest thing is what I'm trying when I look to create stuff, I try to find the stuff that it should be obvious that someone has done it, but they haven't done it yet. Like I just couldn't believe that no one had made a remix of that yet, because it's been that thing has just been floating in the ether for like 20 years and no one has done it. So I was like,
And it's
okay,
super popular too. Like everybody knows it, So
yeah,
that is crazy that it hasn't been done.
yeah. I got some pretty good traction on Spotify with that one, and I still every once in a while I'll get like I'll see a spike of that because a bunch of people just added it to their playlist when they saw it.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah. Is there anything else that you'd want to?
So we do have a lot of things in work. Everything's kind of under wraps right now. Definitely secrets, but I think we have 6 more shows planned after Dirty Snatcha. We're just waiting
Oh
on,
snap!
yeah, we're just waiting on the headliners to allow us to release that information. We have some touring people coming through. We got a bunch of things in motion right now, so it's super, super fun. So just stay tuned. Follow Fractal Family Collective on Instagram, and follow me, Hubbuh BhubbuH, on Instagram, and you'll see all these super cool, exciting events that we have planned right now. It's unreal, honestly.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, one other thing I wanted to ask you is, how did you guys get in with like the Northern Warehouse and the other venues that you guys are working with?
So honestly, I feel like so North Warehouse for sure, that has a lot to do with Bam Flood, Brandon. He runs our social media accounts and has been doing a lot of the back behind the scenes work for Fractal Family. And he caught the attention of their marketers, and he plugged a lot of us in with them. He's like, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. These are the artists that we keep booking. If you want to book them, here's the list of them, and shot them over a list of artists. And they've just been picking us up left and right, just hand picking us.
That's sick.
Yeah, and the Red Cube thing is just like that's just talent based strictly. So all of our artists have just been sending them mixes and submissions, and they've really just been like picking up and vibing with what we've been doing. So they just keep booking the Fractal Family members and other members that we have booked on our rosters as well. Um, so it's really awesome. It's definitely a mind blowing experience seeing what we've built and the other production companies out there recognizing the hard work that we've put in to be where we are today. So
That's awesome. How did you guys start building your roster?
so originally the original roster started with me, my friend Jeff, Stoop Kid, Preston, Rivendeer, and then Brandon, who's Bam Flood. And we were the ones who originally came up with the idea. We were tired of not getting the bookings that we want. We were sending, SoundCloud mixes out to people, and they'd sit there for 3 months with 0 plays. I'm like, whoa, okay, well, we're going to do it different. So we started doing our shows. Couple of our homies came in, sent us some mixes, and we accepted their mixes based off of the quality of their mix. After that, we just started throwing more and more shows. More and more people started reaching out to us, asking us to partner up with them on smaller festivals. And the Bigfoot Festival is actually another really huge thing for us that we did. We played with Vigor Mortis last year during my birthday show,
Nice.
and he loved everything that we did. And he's like, "Yo, you guys want to partner up for Bigfoot Festival?" And we're like, "Absolutely, let's do this."
That's sick.
So got like I think 8 of the Fractal Family on there as well, just for we definitely donated and contributed to the festival to make sure that it could run properly.
Yeah.
Definitely solidified our sets in that way, but it was just really cool marketing from there too. So every time we've been doing these things, we're just meeting more and more people on these like smaller shows, and then we get booked onto these bigger shows because the people that were at those smaller shows run those bigger shows and like what we were doing. And it's just like I said, the snowballs just keeps growing and growing and growing into something more massive and more beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Well, I do want to. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play Cocaine Bear at the end of this.
Awesome.
Dude, that it's so fire. It's so fire. I love that song so much, man. I've listened to it like 10 times today. It's sick.
Hell yeah.
But before we get to that, before we end this, I'm gonna start something new. I wanna end every interview with finding out what you're grateful for. So what would be three or four things that you're grateful for?
So first and foremost, I'm most grateful for my parents, my mom and my dad. They are the most supportive parents that a person could ever wish for. Anytime I make a post on Facebook or whatever, it's always mom and dad first to comment, first to like. We're so proud of you, son. Da 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 da. So definitely
Yeah.
grateful for them. Grateful for my children because they keep me in line. I know that I gotta do right for them and by them,
Yeah.
and just the love that I receive from them is just exponential. And honestly, I'm grateful for the community that I'm a part of. This bass music community that has accepted me and accepted my Fractal Family and just loved us and grown with us. It's been nothing but a fun ride and a thrill, and I can't wait to see where this next chapter takes us.
Awesome. Great. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again for being on. We're going to play Cocaine Bear right now, but before we go, just shout out where everybody can find you.
Absolutely. Yo, Hubbuh BhubbuH on Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Spotify. You can find me on all those platforms. I'm going to spell it for you guys too. HUBBUHBHUBBUH.
Awesome. All
Love you
right.
guys. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you.
Got any bubblegum?
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee. There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
Henry picked it up. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that.
Let's see what kind of effect that has on the bear is sucking deep cocaine.
That's inappropriate.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
Henry picking it up. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that.
Let's see what kind of effect that has on the bear is sucking deep cocaine. Oh man, you fucked.
Of course I can!
Hey, thanks, President. I haven't counted. Thought it was mine.